Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for choosing a Blue Planet board, one of our inflatables. I'm just going to go over real quick what should be included in your package when you pick up your basic stand-up paddle inflatable package. We do include a paddle, a 3-piece paddle that's adjustable, the board of course, a hand pump with a pressure gauge, and a repair kit in case you ever need to do repairs, and a fin, and of course a backpack style backpack. So that's everything that's included in the basic package. First of all, I'm going to talk about how to inflate the board. So the board comes with a hand pump, and first of all you want to attach the pressure gauge to the hose, and then the pressure gauge attaches to the pump itself. And when you're transporting the board, you always want to make sure you take off the hose from the pump, because otherwise this hose can get pinched, or it's better to take it off when you're transporting it and transport it separately. And you just screw on the pressure gauge to the pump, and then the hose goes into the board. So let's go over the valve and how to attach the pump to the board itself. Okay, so the valve here has a open and a closed position. And in the middle you can turn it. If you push it down and turn it clockwise, it locks it in the open position to let the air out. And then if you twist it counterclockwise, it lifts up and it closes the valve. So that way, when it's fully pumped up, it'll keep the pressure inside the board, and you can take the pump off without losing any pressure. So it's important before you start pumping up, make sure that you turn the valve counterclockwise and make sure it's popped up in the up position where the valve is closed. So then this just pushes in and locks in, so you just push it in, turn it 90 degree, or actually 45 degrees, and it locks in. And then you can start pumping. This is gonna take a while. If you pump non-stop, it takes maybe 5 minutes. If you take your time, it can take 10 or 15 minutes, but you know, it's part of warming up. And in the beginning, the pumping is very easy, but the longer you pump, the harder it gets. Okay, so as the pressure in the board increases, it's going to get harder and harder to pump it. But this pump makes it pretty easy to get the pressure up higher. But some of the tricks are to maybe keep your arms straight, keep your back straight, and just use your legs to pump, like do like little squats. Also, if you have a hard time getting it up to enough pressure, you can ask someone else to help you, and each person do one side, pump on one side each. But basically you want to get the pressure up to at least like 12 or 15 psi, we recommend. And the boards can handle up to 20 psi or even a little bit more, but you do want to be kind of careful, especially let's say you're pumping the board up in the morning when the air is cool. During the day, if you leave the board out in the hot sun, the pressure increases, and the combination of the heat of the sun and the increased pressure in the board can cause damage to the seams and so on. So you want to make sure that the pressure, like if you're leaving it out in the hot sun, maybe release a little bit of pressure, make sure it doesn't get too high. And vice versa, if you're using it, if you're pumping it up in the hot sun and then take it in cold water, the pressure will decrease. So if you're going to take it, like for example, from a hot beach into cold water, you might want to add a little bit extra pressure, because the pressure will decrease once you take it in the water. Okay, so once I got the pressure up to 15 pounds, I'm going to take off the hose by twisting it counterclockwise, and it just comes right out. The valve is in the closed position, so no air escapes from the valve. And I'm just going to put this valve cover on to keep sand and dirt out of the valve. Keep it closed, and we're almost ready to go in the water. We just need to put the fin on, get the paddle ready, and we'll be ready to paddle. Okay, so now we're ready to put on the center fin. The side fins are permanently attached to the board. The center fin will take any US fin box. It comes with a basic center fin, but you can exchange it with any other fin if you want to. And so the fin slides in with these little tabs into the fin box. Slide it back. And then this one has a built-in front insert, so you just line up the front of the fin with that insert inside the box, and then you screw the fin screw into that little metal insert. Just tighten that down, and you got the fin in there. There's many fins available aftermarket that you can exchange that can put a smaller fin in, especially if you're going down rivers and so on. It's good to have a real shallow fin that doesn't go in as deep. If you want better tracking or more stability, you can use a bigger center fin, okay? Okay, so we got the board pumped up, the fin installed. Now we're almost ready to go in the water. The paddle just goes together like this. You put the, push in the quick release pin, snap the bottom two halves together, and then the top part, you want to push the adjusting pins out on both sides at the same time, so use two thumbs to push the tab out, and you can change the length of the paddle. The way I like to adjust the paddle is where I can comfortably reach my wrist over the top, kind of stretch out to put it about where my wristwatch would go. And then I find a notch, the hole that lines up with the notch right here, and then the pins will slide right in. And I got the paddle ready to go. So for safety, you should always wear a leash. The leash just attaches to this D-ring in the back of the board here. Just wrap your Velcro wrap around the leash Velcro around that D-ring at the back of the board. The other end of the leash goes around your ankle, and you're ready to go paddle. Okay, so once you're done paddling, take the board up, back up, get it dried off a little bit, and you're ready to deflate it and wrap it up and put it away. Okay, so we're ready to deflate the board. So first of all, I'm just gonna take off this valve cover, and then I'm gonna push the middle tab of this valve down and then turn it clockwise. That's gonna lock it in the open position. So as I push and then twist it, this locks it in the open position and the air can come out. Okay, so once the board's soft, you can kind of flip the tail up and take the fin out. So you just undo this fin screw, take the fin out, and then you can roll the board up. Okay, so once you have the board fully deflated, push out all the rest of the air. You can put the valve cover on it just to keep dirt and humidity out of the inside of the board. And then it comes with a strap that you can use to keep it all rolled up together tightly. Just put the strap around the board. That just helps it from, keeps it from unrolling inside the bag. Gives you a little bit more room for the paddle and everything else in the pump. Got a little strap around there. I got my travel bag and slide everything in here. First the board itself. Oops. Okay, next I'm going to put in the pump, and then when you put in the pump, always remember to take the hose off. Don't leave the hose attached to the pump because that can crimp it or bend the hose and so on. You don't want that. So just stick the pump in the hose in separately. Then the paddle, the repair kit, the paddle slides in there. And then the fin I like to put in this little pouch in the front. Keeps it, make sure you always have that fin with it. Make sure the fin screw is attached to the fin as well. You cinch everything together. The straps at the top, I like to crisscross them over the top. Keeps everything nice and together. And then you can throw it on your back. And ready to go. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your board. Aloha.